This week I built a custom shelf for my little brother's helmet.
Yep, then we get to meet Brad from Project Build Stuff.
But first, it's time for a make or break. Hey guys, welcome back to Make or Break, where we share our favorite maker videos of the week and challenge ourselves to build a project of our own. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Rob. First off, happy 4th of July.
Woo!
This week, Sarah took a turn in the shop to make something special for her little brother.
Here's how it went. A couple weeks ago, my little brother Zach sent me a link to this video where Chaos Causes built a simple but elegant helmet stand. Well, he sent the link and a small bribe to make him one. Of all of my brothers, Zach is the one I can never seem to say no to, but I wanted to make it more, well, Zach. This is Zach's helmet. America, brah. And seeing as it's the 4th of July, I set out to incorporate a theme based on the works of Betsy Ross. I had Rob help me mock up a design in SketchUp. It evolved into a pennant shape where we used some 1/4-inch plywood to cut out a star and stripes for the side and added a couple traditional coat hooks to make it more functional. To cut the larger pieces, I used a pre-milled 1x12. These are not cheap, but since like a lot of you, we don't have a jointer or a planer, this was the best option I had for getting things straight and accurate. We measured out our pieces and used a circular saw to cut our 20-degree angles. This would make the two pieces join together nicely at the top while giving me the angle I wanted for the shelf. Next, we had to cut the triangle supports, which turned out to be a lot of, well, math. This might have been easier with a table saw sled, but Rob hasn't built one yet, so we did some careful marking and used a circular saw, which actually worked great. You just need to be patient. We held it all together with glue and screws, specifically using pocket hole screws to secure all of the parts to the shelf. I also cut out a small shelf for Zach's gloves and attached it with pocket holes as well. After that, I grabbed a 1/4-inch piece of plywood and the circular saw to cut out the angles I needed for the stripes, and then the table saw to get nice straight strips. After cutting them to size on the miter saw, I had the stripes ready to go. Then it was on to the stars. For these, I printed out a star to the size I wanted, cut it out, and then used it to draw the stars accurately on the plywood. Then we cut them out with a jigsaw, sanded them up, and boom, stars. Finally, I wanted to use 2 different stains to give the stars and stripes a bit of contrast. I used a dark walnut on them and decided the back and the top shelf would look good darker as well. I put a clear stain on the pennants and let it dry overnight. The next morning, I glued the stars and stripes in place and added a peg to keep his helmet from sliding off. And that's it! Now my brother can hang his helmet with pride, and I can go on being the world's best big sister. Zach, you're welcome.
You seem pretty confident he's really gonna like that thing.
Oh, if he knows what's good for him, yeah.
There it is.
Okay, it's time to meet a maker. This week we meet Brad from Project Build Stuff. Brad is an engineering teacher by day and a maker by night. Here he is now.
What's up, world, and what's up, Rob and Sarah? Thanks for having me today. My name is Brad, and I'm the man and mind behind Project Build Stuff. When I'm not spending my time at school as a high school engineering teacher, you'll find me right here in this shop, where I love doing all kinds of projects, from CNC and 3D printing to metalworking and woodworking. I can't narrow down just one thing to work on. I love it all. Aside from just making projects, I'm also really passionate about making accessible to everyone. I believe that anyone should be able to build out a shop and build the things that they need, regardless of your budget. And over on my Instagram channel, I spend a lot of time showing people how to find awesome deals on tools and other things for your shop. Making shouldn't be something that you have to have the best and most expensive tools to do. Anyone can do it, and I love showing people how. My favorite and most unsung tool in the shop has to be my Lufkin Machinist Square. While I'm not a machinist yet, I use this thing constantly. It doesn't matter what you're making, it's normally really important that it's square and straight. And I know I can trust this thing 100% of the time. And even better, I was able to pick this thing up from a garage sale for like $5. Can't beat that kind of deal. My favorite project of all time. That's a tricky one, but I'd probably have to go with my bent plywood bench. It was a really hard project that used all of my skills, from CNCing out the molds to kerf bending to epoxy, but I love how it came out. It has a beautiful modern design and I just love it. But the dirty secret is it's actually still not complete 6 months later. I do still need to put finish on it. I'll get there someday. If you're not following Andrew from AG Does It, you're totally missing out. He's new to the content game, but he's been making for years. His projects are incredible and his editing is next level. If you haven't seen his tabletop Game Boy build, go check it out. It's one of the craziest projects I've ever seen. Coming up on my channel, I'm going to be restoring this 1950s Delta bandsaw to its former glory. I love these old vintage tools because they still work great, but you can find them at an awesome deal. I picked this one up for $50, and a comparable model bought brand new would be at least $200, if not more. Once I have this thing fully restored, it's going to be a workhorse in my shop, and I can't wait to use it. These are the perfect type of projects for new DIYers or makers that are trying to build out their shop. I hope you can go check out this video and everything else I have going on my Instagram and YouTube. It's been awesome hanging out with you today. Thanks for having me. Back to you, Rob and Sarah.
Thanks so much, Brad. Okay guys, if you're not already following him on YouTube and Instagram, you should.
Yep, and we'll link to his accounts below. If there's another maker you'd like for us to meet, mention them in the comments below as well.
Or if you're a maker and you would like to be interviewed, you can DM us on Instagram. Okay, it's time for a few of our favorite maker videos of the week. My first one comes from Johnny Builds, who built an impossible origami folding door based on a design he found on Instagram. Look at that thing! It's so perfectly, impossibly complex! I love it.
You keep using that word. I do not think it means what you think it means.
Impossible?
Yeah.
Why are you quoting Princess Bride?
Because they're doing a remake and they shouldn't. It does not need to be remade. The original is a national treasure that should be cherished and protected. I like that movie. Who wants to make a leather bag but doesn't want to stitch it? Jimmy Diresta is always a great source for outside-the-box maker inspiration, and this week he pulled an idea out of his own Inventions and Evil Intentions book and made this amazing leather bag held completely together with rivets.
And finally, Zach, not my brother, from Workshop Edits shared this awesome build for a white oak and steel kitchen table. Dang, that's pretty. Hey, when do we get to start metalworking?
Well, as soon as the Rona goes away, that way we can get somebody here to teach us how to do it.
Stupid Rona.
Stupid Rona. All right, maker friends, that's all we've got. If you saw a maker video that should have been mentioned, do us a favor and link to it in the comments below.
If you link it, we'll watch it.
Yep, and thanks to Heart for sponsoring this episode and reminding us, of course, we can build anything we can imagine if we do it with heart.
Be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss a thing.
All right, break's over.
Let's make something.